Look, I get it. You just closed a major case. And things with your mother are complicated. And hey, you found the swordsman, and believe me, we are grateful and in no position to ask for a favor. But there's a killer taking us out one by one, so we need Cassandra Killjoy to get back to work. Even extraordinary cartoons can have extraordinarily bad episodes, and when that happens, you get InepToons. Kim freaking Possible. This show couldn't have had a more appropriate name. As for this series, anything is possible. It was the first mega multimedia hit that Disney Channel ever had, which sounds crazy considering the channel's long history. But it's true. The show was supposed to end after 65 episodes, which was the rule for animated shows at the time. But it was so successful that the Disney Channel brought it back for an animated movie. And after that, the fans launched a letter-writing campaign that miraculously resurrected the show for one more season. That is the unquantifiable power of this show. But even the most beautiful tapestry can still have a stain. And in the case of Kim Possible, that stain is Cousin Larry. So, for those of you who don't know, Cousin Larry, played by comedian extraordinaire Brian Posehn, is Kim Possible's extremely nerdy cousin, who is so into fandom that he is completely out of touch with reality. While the character technically doesn't make any sense, as he is a nerd obsessed with comics, sci-fi, and fantasy, who lives in a world where superheroes, aliens, and magic are real. I get it. The guy is a parody of us, the obsessive-compulsive fans. And I'm okay with that. I can take a joke. What I can't take is a full episode about this guy. But that is what we are going to endure today. Fanboys and fangirls, from Kim Possible, this is Larry's birthday. So our episode opens with Kim putting on her battle suit to go on a very dangerous mission. For those of you who don't know, after years of fighting evil and the bad guys stepping up their game, Wade finally gave Kim an upgrade. For those slightly more epic missions, the battle suit. High-tech body armor that enhances Kim's natural abilities, plus it has a few added bells and whistles, just to cover all the bases. In this episode, Kim suits up to deal with a preposterously precarious problem.
Is there a cougar on the premises?
Oh, heavens no. She's a puma.
Oh, that's completely different.
Yes, this is Sassy, a real-life puma that is loose in their neighborhood. Her hobbies include playing with string, cuddling, and tearing people to shreds with her razor-sharp claws. As per usual, Kim saves the day and Ron participates.
Stop teasing my Sassy.
And so, we cut to the villain of the week. In this case, it's Professor Dementor, played by Patton Oswalt, wow, who's currently having a chat with his brother-in-law, Myron, played by Bill Fagerbakke. Wow, okay, now that's a hell of a cast. Currently, Dementor is obsessed with getting Kim's battlesuit, which has been his story arc for the entire season. Myron, however, desperately wants to be one of Dementor's henchmen, for some reason, and offers to steal the battlesuit for him in return for being made an official henchman. However, Dementor has already tried the direct approach and knows that brute force won't work. So this time, he suggests for Myron to kidnap someone that Kim cares about and ask for the suit as ransom. So he suggests for Myron to kidnap Kim's boyfriend. So Myron asks a perfectly legitimate question. Who is Kim Possible's boyfriend? And Professor Dementor, a super genius and master villain with infinite resources, doesn't know Kim's boyfriend's name. So instead of looking it up, which would take him all of 5 seconds on Google, he just tells Myron to grab the guy who is with Kim Possible but doesn't look like he should be with Kim Possible.
A huge steaming ball of foreshadowing.
And thus we cut to Bueno Nacho, where Kim meets with Ron to ask him for a very important favor. You see, it's cousin Larry's birthday, and her family wants to throw Nerdy McNumbnuts a surprise birthday party. So they need Kim to keep Larry out of the house and distract him while they set up the surprise. Kim understandably wants to pass the buck and have Ron be the one to distract Larry. Unfortunately, Ron can't because he is currently babysitting his little sister, Hannah, and thus, the girl that can do anything is subjected to one of the most inhumane tortures known to man, being nerded to death by Larry's fanboy Tourette's.
The thing is, in the graphic novel, Dark Megaton's powers are biomechanical, but in the movie, they're electromechanical.
Hold that thought for just a second, just let me open this up, and there we go. Unfortunately, Kim doesn't have the luxury of a nearby window, so she drops off Larry at the comic book store and goes to get a well-deserved iced coffee. But little does she know that Myron and the rest of the Mentor's minions are lurking nearby.
I see a guy with Kim Possible who doesn't look like he belongs with Kim Possible.
Oh, Jesus, God, no. So, yeah. Myron and the minions go to kidnap Larry, thinking he's Ron. Ugh. But that's not even the worst part. Kim, of course, immediately goes to work. But for some insane reason, Larry thinks that all of this is a staged performance for his birthday, or a LARP.
LARP, live action role play.
But here's the thing. There is no such thing as a surprise LARP, where everyone pretends like what's happening is real. So this isn't a case of miscommunication. Larry is just delusional. This is a straight up Mazes and Monsters situation.
TJ, what am I doing here?
And to make matters worse, while Kim is kicking ass, Larry sits there and delivers all this unwarranted DVD commentary.
My cousin's engaged in combat. It's like Kick Fight 3D.
Shut up! Would you please stop ruining one of the best scenes in this episode with your verbal diarrhea, for Godzilla's sake? So, the henchmen grab Larry and make a break for it on a helicopter. Kim takes chase. And wait, they got away? I guess Kim forgot to use her grappling hook, the one that she always uses, which is currently, conveniently, in her wristwatch now. Guess she forgot, you know, by accident. And thus, Larry is taken to the Mentor's lair.
Who is das Ubernerd?
That's right, the Mentor immediately recognizes that this is not Kim's boyfriend. But he doesn't send him back. Why, you might ask? Because even though everyone, and I do mean everyone, insists that what is happening is real, Dorka Doofus McButtnut still thinks that this is a LARP, and chooses to play the part of one of the Mentor's minions, claiming that he can get the Mentor the battle suit. So the Mentor, again, a super genius, just goes along with it. And wait a minute, how does Larry know where Kim keeps her battle suit?
How did Larry know where it was, Ron?
Oh, I might have mentioned something to him when he was looking for board games.
Damn you, Ron. Damn you! Now that Larry's missing, it's all hands on deck. So Ron joins Kim on her search in spite of still having to babysit Hannah. They arrive at the Mentor's lair, but they're too late, and the place is empty. Ron trips the security lasers because he's Ron, but luckily, baby Hannah simultaneously stops the laser and destroys the Mentor's lair. That's right, the little drooly poopy baby is still cooler than Larry. Meanwhile, the Mentor and Larry arrive at Kim's house, but can't get past Kim's security. So the Mentor suggests that they use the ELBD.
Extremely large blaster device?
So they can blast directly into...
Can I work it?
No. Professor Dementor, a professional supervillain, isn't going to let some rando mother. So, no surprise here, Larry breaks the blaster and can't find the battlesuit.
This is the best birthday ever!
I hate him so much!
Inevitably, our heroes catch up to the villains and jump into action.
Oh, what's I got? Al pulled something. Wow!
Oh, you're the guy who's with Kim Possible but doesn't look like he belongs with Kim Possible.
Okay, that's pretty funny. And then Larry beats Kim in a fight? I just can't. What is happening? So the villains take our heroes to the timeshare lair, which is a nice little Easter egg reference to the joke that led to the creation of Professor Dementor. And thus, we find Kim and Ron in a classic death trap, precariously hanging over a pool of acid. And this is when Ron realizes that Larry didn't truly become a supervillain. He's just a dumb.
Larry thinks all of this is a role-playing game.
No way. I think even Larry can tell the difference between real life and a game.
Dragon Tamer, hello?
Oh, right.
And right when Dementor is going to win for the first time ever,
What are you doing with that battlesuit?
Scenario 19.
no, how dare you put your butt where her butt once was. This is the highest form of sacrilege. This is like Steve Urkel wearing Superman's cape, or Dwight Schrute wielding Captain America's shield, or Sheldon Cooper wearing the Goblin King's mighty codpiece. And wait, he can fight now? The suit doesn't magically give you fighting abilities. That's not a thing. The suit's just armor and weapons. You don't just put it on and magically turn into Ronda Rousey. Kim's fighting skills come from training and practice. This is so insulting it makes me want to... But I digress. And so the day is saved. Dementor is arrested, Kim gets her suit back, and thank God Larry had a great birthday that was entirely based on a ridiculous delusion that everyone has elected to entertain. But the episode is almost over, so who cares? Still, Ron suggests to Larry that while fantasies are fun, reality has its merit. Like, for example, girls.
Don't start, Larry.
Suck it, Larry! And so our episode ends with a post-credits scene in which Draken and Shigo discuss Dementor's arrest.
Busted by Kim Possible?
No.
Busted by her sidekick, what's his name?
No.
The Naked Mole Rat?
No.
Cousin Larry. Never heard of him.
And how I envy you. So, it goes without saying, but I hate this episode with every fiber of my being. Now, there are people who are able to overlook it, as it takes place between two great episodes. Nursery Crimes, which is funny and cute, and Graduation, which is the epic series finale. But I just can't do that. I can't overlook this. Even if you ignore the episode's stubborn focus on an unimportant tertiary character, you can't ignore the fact that this is how they chose to end Professor Dementor's battlesuit arc. With him being defeated by a random nerd? Really? And look, I totally see the appeal of producing an episode with Brian Posehn and Patton Oswalt playing opposite to one another. Those two are great together, but their combined comedic talent just wasn't enough to counteract the sheer irritability of this episode. It's just the opposite of everything that makes Kim Possible great. And after the show was resurrected by the fans for one more season, this just seems like such a gross misuse of one of those extra episodes. But alas, this is just a small glitch in an otherwise flawless show. And maybe, just maybe, I should just tear a page out of most of the characters' playbook and just ignore Larry. Next time on InepTToons.